Yellowstone's 4 upcoming spin-offs, ranked by how excited we are. There are plenty of Yellowstone stories to look forward to, even if the flagship series wrapped up Season 5. Taylor Sheridan's Dutton family exists not just in the screenwriter's Yellowstone series, but also in its offshoots, which include 1883 and 1923 so far. The prequels saturate the Dutton family tree in Yellowstone, comprising 7 generations of pioneers and ranchers. The screenwriter plans to add even more stories to his modern Western universe, including 4 spin-offs for viewers to enjoy that will expand the lore and drama of Yellowstone. The most fascinating part about the roster of Taylor Sheridan's upcoming TV shows is that many will occur in the present, adjacent to the timeline in the flagship. Sheridan's offshoots of the Dutton family have been anchored in the past so far, acting as period pieces that enhance the Dutton story. Still, 3 of the 4 upcoming Yellowstone series are slated to occur in the present, and each modern-day saga varies from the flagship enough to warrant exploration. Sheridan also has 1 more prequel lined up, and it could be the best Yellowstone installment yet. While the Texas spin-off has an exciting premise, Sheridan's Yellowstone 6666 spin-off is complicated to get excited about because there haven't been any solid updates. The series would star Jefferson White alongside Taylor Sheridan's Travis Wheatley, after Yellowstone Season 4 sets up the characters to work together, turning Jimmy into a proper cowboy. The Four Sixes Ranch, 6666, in West Texas is the series' namesake, and Sheridan owns the ranch, where the spin-off will presumably shoot most of its scenes. Following the Yellowstone finale in December, a cautious update from Yellowstone executive producer Christina Voros came about the show when speaking with TV Insider. Voros essentially couldn't say for sure whether Yellowstone spin-offs 6666 and 1944 were still in production, noting that Sheridan closed some doors in the finale while leaving others open. Regarding leaving doors open, Sheridan didn't close any on a Texas spin-off in Yellowstone Season 5, Part 2. To the contrary, presumed 6666 cast members, Jimmy Herdstrom and Travis Wheatley, appear throughout the back half of Season 5. There are also numerous references to the Four Sixes Ranch, where the cowboys spend time in the Lone Star State. One of the most significant is the Four Sixes vodka in Yellowstone Season 5, Episode 10, which was a direct nod to Sheridan's brand. While the report confirming a new Yellowstone offshoot starring Kelly Riley and Cole Hauser was exciting, it's hard to imagine how Beth and Rip's story will distinguish itself from the flagship. The report announced Beth and Rip's offshoot would share a lot of DNA with the Yellowstone flagship, including other familiar faces alongside Riley and Hauser's characters, and the Yellowstone moniker in the title. The details tie the story to the flagship more than any other spinoff. Unlike Sheridan's other upcoming prequels that depart from Yellowstone, the Dutton Ranch Lovebirds story will take place in Montana and focus on many of the same characters from the flagship, confusing it with its predecessor. The proximity to Yellowstone Season 6 could lead to legal hurdles for Beth and Rip's Yellowstone spinoff, preventing the series from getting off the ground. Still, it will be fun to watch Beth and Rip start their lives independent of the Yellowstone when the series takes off. The Madison will be a unique Yellowstone offshoot since the series makes an unprecedented story choice by focusing on a dynasty outside the Dutton family tree. The Madison Yellowstone spinoff will concentrate on the Cliburn family, led by Michelle Pfeiffer as Stacy Cliburn. The series will focus on the family as they relocate to Montana following the death of their patriarch. Still, despite being part of a different family, the Madison characters will exist in Beth and Case's Montana. Yellowstone spin-offs are exciting and build on the series' existing lore while standing independently. Therefore, the Madison is even more exciting than Beth and Rip's Yellowstone spinoff, since their story will share so much DNA with the fleshed-out flagship. While its complete picture remains unclear heading into 2025, Fever's show has more emerging characters and updates than other offshoots, indicating momentum behind the Madison, making it more straightforward to anticipate. 1944 is another exciting prospect for Yellowstone. The spinoff would presumably focus on the Dutton family during the titular year. It was announced in tandem with the Madison, then called 2024. It was refreshing to know there were 2 more Yellowstone spinoffs in development, but 1944 has not progressed with the Madison and could be on Sheridan's back burner for now. Little progress has been announced on the mid-century saga, which would pick up the Dutton family's journey after 1923 Season 2. Christina Vora's update to TV Line indicated that the Yellowstone EP didn't know if 1944 was still in production, citing that the Yellowstone Season 5 finale closed the door on some series. It seems unlikely, however, that the finale would impact the chances of the prequel, which isn't affected by the conclusion of a modern-day tale. Hopefully, Sheridan makes 1944 after 1923's conclusion, since we'll wait to see how the story continues after Season 2. Another Yellowstone period piece is arguably the most worthy of excitement. The Dutton dynasty isn't just surviving, it's thriving. With Yellowstone coming to an end, Taylor Sheridan has made sure that the legacy of Montana's first family will live on through a growing web of spin-offs. Whether we're heading back in time or forging into the future, the Yellowstone universe is expanding faster than a prairie fire in July. But not all spin-offs are created equal. Some have us chomping at the bit, while others feel like a slow trot. Here's how we rank the 4 upcoming Yellowstone spin-offs from Moom. Interesting to drop everything and set the DVR. 4. 6666. The Texas-sized gamble. At first glance, 6666 seems like it should be a guaranteed hit. We're talking about one of the most historic ranches in the United States, the legendary Four Sixes Ranch, where the West is still as wild as ever. Cowboys don't just herd cattle, they live by a code older than the telephone. In theory, that sounds fantastic. In reality, we're a little cautious. The thing is, Yellowstone fans fell hard for the Duttons, flawed, messy, fiercely loyal. It's not yet clear if 6666 will feature characters we already know, like Jimmy, bless his heart, or if we'll be starting fresh with a new crop of ranch hands. We'll watch, of course. But without a strong Dutton or 2 to anchor the drama, 6666 risks feeling like a beautiful postcard. Impressive, but emotionally distant. 3. 1944. Another chapter in the Dutton family saga. If 1883 showed us how the Duttons first claimed Montana, and 1923 showed us how they fought to keep it, then 1944 promises to thrust them into the modern age, World War II style. We're imagining soldiers returning from the front, tractors replacing horses, and a Dutton family grappling with a country forever changed. There's a lot of potential here. The 1940s were gritty, raw, and patriotic. Perfect ingredients for a sweeping, emotional epic. Plus the wardrobe opportunities. Stetsons meet victory roles. Sign us up. The reason 1944 doesn't rank higher? We're still haunted by the end of 1923. A brutal, emotional roller coaster that left some viewers drained. If 1944 leans too heavily into tragedy without balancing it with the stubborn hope that defines the Duttons, it could be a hard watch. But if Sheridan finds the right tone, it could be a knockout.